We're ready to go.
We're born ready to go.
Bro, so this fucking documentary.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
What? So first off, I thought because we just happened upon Celebration of Love, Valentine's Day, and I thought, and I saw this, I thought this is a tale fundamentally of two people that just want love, and they don't always go about it in the right way, but that's kind of what love is. You make mistakes, things happen. I'm talking, of course, about the documentary Lover, Stalker, Killer, which
that's our version of a rom-com.
Yeah.
That's our version of, like, he's just not that into you. Our version of that is she's way too into you.
And there's a little toxic part of me. I'm like, well, it would be refreshing to not have to think, like, do they like me? It's like, yeah.
We should give background on what this is if people haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
So there's this documentary on Netflix that, at times can be pretty disturbing, just a heads up. But it's basically about this guy who's just like, basically just looks like if Chad Daniels never did stand-up. He's just like this goober, tattooed up guy. He's who every person in Brooklyn is trying to look like, but he's not. And he gets a divorce from his wife, has to move to Nebraska, just huge L, and then just absolute loss.
Well, he has to move to Nebraska so he can be near his wife and their kids.
Yeah.
So he can still co-parent them.
Right, and he's like. Fine, and he also the cuts don't do him any justice in the thing, but so he just
side note about how this whole thing is constructed is they are recreating, they're telling the stories and they're having him act it out, and they're filming it very cinematically, him walking to the diner, and imagine running into your ex-boyfriend and he's with a camera crew.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm making a documentary about how evil you are.
He's recreating your first date with another actress, and he's and that's what I knew, and you're like, what the fuck? It's a small town.
Yeah, 100% they would. They're like, I fucked the documentary guy. Is the whole world gonna know I had gonorrhea? But
wait, but he moves to Nebraska to be near his wife and kids, even though they're divorced.
Right, and then he gets on Plenty of Fish, and also the way they cut it is if he's however they portray hackers in movies where it's him in a dark room. So he's just in a dark room, and he's like, and then I found online dating, and he's so not. He's like, my God, the amount of potential pussy here is overwhelming. And so, dude goes on a date, meets a woman. Things are going great. He's actually loving single life. And then, because he's just tattooed up, basically like Anthony Bourdain body double, another girl comes in to try to get her car fixed or whatever. He's like, I'll fix something else if you don't. There's a lot of the documentary in the first 10 minutes that does feel like the setup to a porn. It's like, oh, mister, my car is so messed up. And he's just like, I'll come over and fix that. I'll change more than just your oil, sweetheart. A lot of that vibe.
But every porn scenario in real life is someone just gets murdered. Every time, a plumber comes to your door and he's like, I gotta come inside. You're dead.
Yeah, no,
you're dead.
Yeah. Porn is actually a fantasy, a whimsical fantasy tale of the best case scenario in that situation. If a plumber comes to your door intent on fucking you, you will be murdered.
No,
you're not gonna just have super hot sex. You're also both not gonna be hot. That's out of the question. You're both going to look like swamp mom. That is the OG non-binary, is just whoever's engaging in that. Because that's not either gender. That's something.
If a dude pulls up and is like, you're getting in this van, I'm like, I hope he fucks me, because otherwise he is skinning me.
Yeah, that's best case scenario.
Hanging me from a telephone pole.
Yeah, don't act like you haven't fucked a dude who owned a van before. That's a Wednesday for old Wien.
I actually haven't, but spiritually I have.
Spiritually.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Where were we, though? We're in Nebraska.
So we're in Nebraska. This girl comes up with a car, and he basically, they start hitting it off. He goes over. They go on a date. She comes back to his place, and then girl number one, things are already starting to get dicey. Comes hey, I forgot something at your apartment. But
at this point, we have the ex-wife, the girlfriend, and the new girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he already has the new girl upstairs. They're kind of this post date. They're having a drink, probably hitting it off. So he has to kind of awkwardly tell his other girlfriend that there's someone upstairs, but I guess they weren't exclusive, so it wasn't a problem. And but then when she comes up to like get her thing, the new girl just sort of like leaves, and then like I think the first girl's name is Liz, and then him and Liz hook up or whatever, and he's kind of like, oh, that was the end of that. But then he keeps hanging out with the second girl who's named Carrie. They hang out for like 2 weeks because they like live close to each other, and they're kind of hitting it off. Tale as old as time. And then
you're giving so many details. You really defending it because he just feels a connection with her. And the thing is, this guy's had it hard the last few months.
I really felt this man a lot. Where it's like, Manic girl comes up once a lot soon, and listen, this guy's alone. He's in the Midwest. Things are going according to. I know what it's like to be a lonely man in the Midwest when things aren't going according to plan. Felt like a divorce brought me out there in the way that I had nothing. So all right, back to the tragedy. But so they're hitting it off, hanging out all the time, clicking. Then one day when he's at work, she texts him like, do you want to move in together? Now, it's only been 2 weeks, which is pretty wild. Mm-hmm. And this is where me and him cross paths because he goes, of course not. And I would go, well, you read my mind.
See, you actually would do great in this because, spoiler alert, the twist of the documentary is that he says, no, we can't move in together. Yeah. And she goes fucking crazy and ruins his life. Yeah. The lesson is, you're doing the right goddamn thing.
Yeah. The lesson is be a people-pleasing person. That would never happen. If she's like, well, I'll follow you and ruin your whole life, I was like, no, move in. You don't need to do that. You don't need to threaten my ex-wife. You can just move right in, pal. Oh, you're going to follow me around? You're going to do every little thing I do? You're going to call in my... You're going to burn down someone's house? You don't have to do that. Take that passion right upstairs into the bedroom. Back that up all in.
This dude should have just been saying yes.
That's he should have done the opposite of all the years of therapy, where it's like establish boundaries. Well, what did that get him? What did boundaries do for anybody in the documentary? It seems like boundaries quite literally got somebody killed. All right? So the moral of the story is, if you're dealing with loony, toony balloony, you just ride the wave. And here's the thing, more often than not, they dump you. They get tired of you. They'll meet some other, she has to get her oil changed again, and then she'll fall in love. She'll like stop at a Jiffy Lube and stalk that guy for 10 years, and then you're free.
It is just...
Do your time. That's this Valentine's Day Kenyon love advice. Do your fucking time. You date a psycho, you let him ruin your life, and you move on.
But I feel like she's crossing my boundaries. You didn't get the light.
You didn't get it. You did not get the light.
Do your time,
You're gonna learn. First off, the first two months of whatever that insanity is, let's take the energy that was put into stalking. Mm-hmm. If that was put into fucking and hanging out, that would quite literally be the 2 best months of your life.
I know when
like the amount of sex that, because she we'll not spoil the whole. She stalked him for years. Like, threatened his family, burned down her own house in a way to hide her own identity.
Because it wasn't even the girl they thought. It was the other girl.
It was the first girl.
Who killed that girl and then pretended to be her and stalked him.
Yeah.
And then fucking, like, to the point that the detectives on the case, at one point, the guy goes, I got diagnosed with a brain tumor, but I said, don't treat it till I'm done with this case.
They literally, the guy was risking his own life to put this one. I mean, she is a fundamentally evil, terrible person.
They also could have called the documentary... Woman gives greatest head imaginable because every time he was like, she shot herself in the leg, but God was she beautiful. Yeah. It's like the power that women have.
Yeah, I mean, so
to destroy communities.
Yeah. But also what I find one of the funniest parts to me was this person is just if you've never seen it, so like to clear it up, there was person number 2 who he thought it was the entire time because he said, like, no, I don't want to live with you. She starts, like, stalking him, texting him, like, literally, like, hundreds of times a day from different numbers, following him, threatening his whole fucking family. And then, like, he thought he burned down his like, other girlfriend's house, but it was actually just her. Like, it was actually all the first person who, like, killed the second person and took on their identity. And, like...
From, like, what is it? 13,000 different... unique IP addresses. Like,
yeah,
it was
that's
fucking
like
crazy.
pretty. As soon as a VPN is involved, I was like, oh, you're different level. See, this is why you stick with alcoholic crazy, because they don't have the fortitude to go VPN. They're just throwing stuff at you. They're just showing up somewhere. They're not gonna go.
Like, how did she know where I was? She's like, 'cause I'm right fucking here.
Yeah. You need that.
You don't need someone fucking logged into the Matrix with a drone flying towards your dick with a laser beam pointed down your peel. You need
someone who's like slamming pre-workout and has like 3 monitors on, who's got a VPN from the Philippines, who like quite literally got off scot-free with a murder for like 2 years, no leads.
Who starts dating a man on the case investigating it?
Wild. I mean, this is a mastermind. And also, just to take it back, what does this say about old like pseudo Chad Daniels here? First off, how good is this stick that this woman was able to infiltrate an ongoing criminal investigation?
Killed all her own pets.
Killed her own dogs.
Like an animal sacrifice to this man's
dick.
Yeah. She has like all these different, like, she's like fucking Inspector Gadget. She's got the fucking VPNs and she's dating the dude. You need a girl who is chugging PBR and she only has, it's like a basic character in Super Smash Bros. She only has one power she can whip out. Her like default thing is like, I fucked your friend. Like, you need a girl where you're like, I know your play, baby girl. I know your fucking play. I can block that shit now easy. Oh, the same fucking uppercut to my friend's fucking dick and balls? I got you, bitch.
But that is 100. You need a level 1 toxic. You don't go, she is a fucking video game boss. Like, you need to play the game 7 times to beat. You quite literally would need like a forensic team to beat her.
The government got involved. Your breakup was so bad, the government couldn't figure it out.
And it took like a team of people working overnight to stop her.
A man neglected his own cancer. Yeah. Other people don't have boundaries anymore. Yeah. Their own fucking body.
Just take this person down. Absolutely insane. And then that was like, she shot herself in the leg trying to blame his ex-wife and was like, she did all this evil, like the crazy person, Liz is the first person's name, said like, he did all this evil stuff and he still gets to be with Dave. So it's like, that's how great Dave's dick is. She's still just so sad. She's like,
wait, what happened? I missed that part.
When she shot herself in the leg?
Uh-huh.
She was like in the police station and the police knew that she was just full of shit lying, but she was like, oh my, like, why isn't his ex-wife being arrested? Like, she's doing all this stuff. And like, also what they did was the cops basically talked a pseudo Chad Daniels into moving back with his ex-wife to like essentially piss her off. And so she called and was like, she did all this evil stuff and she still gets to live with Dave. Like, she's talking.
By the way, Dave is fine.
Dave is so average, it's wild.
This is why you can't live in small towns. You get too resource hungry.
You really do.
You need other people. Walk by a hot guy a few
in
times
New York,
a day.
You're just like,
never mind.
Oh, yeah, like, they're not that great.
Yeah.
You're like, come on.
You're like, I walk by someone hotter than the love of my life every goddamn day. I'll get over it.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, small towns are, that's why it's great. Because you walk in, it's like a UN relief truck. I got all the grain you need. Fucking guy who knows how to listen, and I'm kind of decent at that. Like, they didn't know what to make of me.
Doctors Without Borders, this is Boyfriends Without Boundaries. Let me tell you, we're coming in via helicopter.
Yeah. You say I love you in the second date, and you just see me just drop out of just paragliding into her house. But the other part that I found kind of funny was, so after I think like a year or so into the stalking, once he believes that his house is burned down, they stop hooking up, and then the other girl who he thinks is after him, but she's actually dead. He's like, well, then I figured I should get back out there, and he just puts up the website, and I'm like, that says more about a man than you will ever know. Like, this man is being harassed for years. His family is worried about their safety.
He had to abandon his children.
Yeah, he was forced away from his children that he moved halfway across the country to be with. And even then, He was like, "A guy's got to fuck." And I feel like every dude, when it comes to getting laid, has the attitude of like a degenerate gambler who's like $100K in debt at a casino, where it's like, well, this time I'll win big and it'll make up for all the other losses. Like every time you go to a dating app, it might as well just be a slot machine. It's like bing, bing, bing. Not the same person again.
And that's how she gets back in, too.
Yeah.
He goes on the dating site, and she fucking finds him.
Yeah.
Wait, so she moved to the other town that he moved to, right? Like,
yeah.
This spanned states.
Again, why?
It's. I mean, what's a more secure attachment than a VPN, dude?
Yeah.
You can't even trace it.
Well, that's like our ad read. VPN. Show somebody that you love them. If someone say you're afraid of commitment, I committed to a whole new fake identity for 6 months with VPN.
This Valentine's Day, we're sponsored by NordVPN.
Yeah.
Let them know you love them by not letting them know who you are.
Yeah. No, she made up. It had to be several fake profiles.
I mean, he said
because
how would like 125 emails a day. That's like working as a receptionist. Like that's like how does this woman make money?
She also had kids.
It's like a full-time fucking job.
Yeah.
She's like, I know exactly where my crush is at all times. And it's like, where are your children?
Yeah,
That's the question.
How did you make money? Like,
how did she make money?
Yeah, like, because this is like a cop on an extreme stakeout. She's like, you're at a restaurant. You're eating a peanut butter sandwich with a tomato. It's like, how the fuck? And also, where was the original? Like, was this the first time she did? Crazy like this does not just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Especially like Navy SEAL crazy like that. Like there had to be some past, but like it would have been nice if there was like a Justice League level, like we have like the ex-husband show up halfway through. And he's like, "I got you, brother," and he like stop. He's like, "You won't get her this time, Liz."
Like a Marvel movie where it's a parallel universe. They're like, she's been doing this across the galaxy for years.
you have like
on our planet, she's notorious.
You have like all these like sad men formed together as like the Justice League. They all hold up like a Prozac prescription as like it's like kryptonite. She's like, "No, I'm melting! I'm melting!" Not this time.
It's like, where did you get this fucking training? VPNs?
That's insane. I've never used a VPN in my life.
You use a VPN to like watch Swedish TV on Netflix or something, and not to like.
That's like the most innocent thing someone's using a VPN.
Yeah, that's
for.
True. That's probably not what most people are using it for.
But you're using it because you're scared of the government, or because you're doing something that people should be scared of you for.
Yeah.
Those are the two reasons you're a VPN guy. That's just so like 8 different VPNs for years.
Yeah, the years thing is.
Also, she was like, do you think that hurt the boyfriend a little bit? Because she was fucking a police officer. Right? Do you think he was like, so you weren't even into it? Like, that meant nothing? I thought we had some good, we both like Star Wars.
She's like, I'm just not over my ex. There's a woman's head hanging in the background.
There's like
I'm a little
body buried in 14
yeah.
monitors and just coffee open at all ages of the night.
To be fair, I can relate to this woman. I have had fucking 30 computer tabs open and been like, I'm being chill right now. No, I know where his fucking dad went to college. Yeah. But I'm being really cool right now.
That's a funny thing. I think when we first met and I brought you over to my house.
No! Oh no! Yeah, no, we can share. This is yes.
So when I was like 18, I was like, I don't know, we're just in my kitchen. I was like, yeah, it's like a photo. It's like my aunts and stuff. And apparently later you're like, oh yeah, I've already seen that photo. Because you had done like a deep dive of like my mom's Facebook.
Okay, deep dive.
That was from like 2005. This was like 2014. Like,
you don't do that when you're in high school. You have a crush on somebody. You go on their Facebook,
sure,
and you click through the fucking.
No, that's like a normal thing. I
shouldn't have said it out loud.
Yeah. That was wild.
I'm just saying.
You don't reveal the bag like that.
You really don't.
You don't. You play it cool. You're like, oh, I fall in love every other day. Woo. Happens to me all the time. Oh my god! I went to go get a burrito today and got married by accident. It means nothing to me. You? Oh, the person I'm inside of who could accidentally make a baby at any moment? No, I'm not interested in your well-being and who you are at all. Just cash. Keeping it cash. I haven't thought about us owning a lake house in the slightest.
No, I'm inside of you. It doesn't matter that I don't even feel inside of my own goddamn body, but I'm inside of you. That was supposed to not be.
That's funny. Are you in yet? I don't even know if I'm in here, let alone in there. You got to do step one. You got to apply your oxygen mask before you come in somebody.
I was supposed to fill you up. I can't even fill up my own cup. But I'm saying, I have some slight. I gotta be a girl's girl here for a second.
Yeah, do it.
And I understand VPN lady because, look, she doesn't even really want to be with the guy. That's the thing.
Sure.
It's been 2 years. She hasn't seen the dude in fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
She's just keeping track of his sandwiches and shit.
Right.
She might just be autistic. This is why autism isn't diagnosed in women, is because maybe this is just what happens.
Do you just become a psycho killer person? There had to be some autism. Well, yeah. I mean, anybody who thinks a mechanic is hot, definitely there's a little bit.
Oh, you fix gears? I'm going to use my computer to make you love me.
Yeah, no, that seems... You guys are just two different types of autism right there.
Because men men show up outside of women's houses, but she went to the cloud.
It really shows the men are more brute force. Men are like, follow you to your car. She was like, no, I'm going to play weird mind games and like do stuff they did during like World War II, like at Saigon, where they scream at night so you never feel safe. Like that was what she was doing. She was doing like psychological thrill, like the way you break a man in Guantanamo Bay.
Like doing like running fucking MK Ultra, like locking him in a room of mirrors and being like, terror. That's like what women's psychosis looks like. As well, men are too simple. Men are like, I kill you. Like it's too stupid. Yeah, men start hearing voices. Women are like, I'm gonna be all the voices.
Yeah, I will be every voice you fucking need in your head. That is, it also says something that I saw this documentary. I first thought is, I think Maddie and we'd have a lot of riffs from this unfortunate tale of terror, and I think it would be a perfect Valentine's Day episode. Just because it's always, I've experienced like not anything to that scale of insanity, but some mild toxic. I wouldn't say mild. Some decent toxic relationships. Yeah. So I kind of, it's sad in the first 20 minutes. I was like, well, yeah. Like it's just like, I just text you all the time, threaten you, and things moving way faster, dude. Yeah.
There was a second there where I was like, I expected me to come in with a happy birthday.
Yeah. Like I'm like,
I lived. I've been on Groundhog Day watching this fucking movie.
Yeah. You're like, what is happening? Yeah, because I remember
I was the fucking detective with the brain tumor.
You were the detective.
I'll deal with my OCD later. We got to crack this case.
Yeah,
goddammit.
Do you think any mental health crisis you have is because I for a while we lived apart, so there wasn't like my own shit show of a life for you to try to figure out?
Brother, I could ask you the same question.
Was there ever just like, you're like, no, but my brain's working on all these gear, but you were the detective being like, if we could get Kenyon away from the mentally ill 30-year-old and stop him from crying and abusing himself.
Stop me from cannibalizing my own, like, what if I stop breathing and what if my water's been poisoned and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what if she comes back for Kenyon? Like, it really, gave me something to latch onto.
It really does. See, that's the thing about dysfunction. Really fills up a day. Really fills a calendar. Never a dull moment with some chaos. You think that guy was bored? Mr. Documentary Guy?
Yeah, you're not going to have any trouble getting out of your bed if your bed's on fire.
Oh, my God.
Damn, dude. That fucking... I don't know. The fact that also he was in Nebraska and it took a year to be like, maybe I'll just leave.
Yeah, that's another big lesson of the doc. The Midwest is evil. There's something there.
The Midwest has got to go.
It's no good. There's like a certain level of darkness that exists there and nowhere else. I don't know how to describe it. I think it's because there's nothing for like miles and miles. Like there's no like beach or like
There's
mountain.
no features even. You go on a drive through nature and it's how'd you make nature ugly?
Yeah, Indiana. How did
Truly.
you make nature? You ruined the most beautiful, like scientifically proved to boost your mood, and you're like, this is just a nightmare.
The Midwest can suck my fucking fat East Coast cock. The Midwest
it truly
is
sucks.
the worst.
It really sucks. If you're listening for the
Jeff
Midwest,
and Drago, when you come on the episode, we'll fucking fight you.
We'll
dude.
fight you on it. It is a miserable, sad. There's a certain love. There's a reason why everyone there is just filling their orifice with cheese and booze and ready to die. And you have like weird serial killer shit. Like there's just layers of human depravity that don't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, dude.
And I think it's because there's just not shit going on.
Because you're in a field.
Like in Omaha, Nebraska. Like this woman couldn't get away with that in New York.
No.
Like she would not have the time.
First of all, she's like, I can see you. It's like, how did she track me down? Zoom out. He's the only person in this fucking restaurant.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Five people in town.
It's a
How
town.
is she following me? She's not like fucking Russian spy, like following you through Beijing, sliding under fucking buildings.
It's like two kids like playing tag at a park. Running in circles. Like, where'd she go? And it's like, yeah, there's just the town of Omaha. Like, what do you?
You meet a crazy woman in the middle.
3 other streets.
You meet a crazy woman in the middle of nowhere. She's like, "You're it."
Pretty much.
Duck, duck, kill yourself.
A fun game I played as a youth.
Dude, I it's also just insane that it got to a point where it's like, imagine you dated a girl so crazy that there was a Netflix documentary about the twists and turns.
I feel like I got a few docs in me. Netflix, if you want to call your boy up, I'll give you a documentary.
We got some fucking pitches.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that would be a whole other... Because he can never have a normal relationship again. Because I've had that with myself where I'm like, oh my God, like I feel tripped up in like dating because of like past relationships I had or whatever. Can you imagine this? Where you hooked up with someone, they murdered someone else that you were hooking up with, pretended to be them, and then terrorized your family for several years until they got it. I know Yoshi. Yoshi's worried about me.
Oh, Yoshi.
Yoshi's like, no, you'll find true love will find you in the end.
You'll find out just who's your friend.
And it's Yoshi.
Yoshi's.
And I know you will.
True love will find you in the end.
Oh. God, that was wholesome. If anybody questions where our morals are at here, if they're like, these pieces of shit, shitting on this family tragedy, I just sung True Love is in the End with a fucking bunny. So you can suck my dick. I'm about as wholesome as it fucking gets.
If you don't think I'm a sweet guy, I'll fucking kill you.
I'll beat the fuck out of you if you don't think I'm the most adorable motherfucker. If you don't think I'm a fucking abominable snickerdoodle, then I got a thing to... If you don't think I've tried my fair share of beat poetry, then boy, have I got something to show you. Oh, my God.
I will say, if somebody told me they were going to do all the things she did... Oh, sorry, he's shedding.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
I got a lint roller we can whip out after the episode.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But if someone was like, I would fucking burn down a house for you. I'd shoot myself in the leg. I'd kill someone if they ever touch you. I'd be like, oh, me, oh, my. And then they do it, and you're like,
they say Romeo doesn't exist.
All that stuff sounds
You're like, I can barely get anybody to text me back.
VPN, text me from your normal phone.
Yeah.
You don't need to be going to a fucking Russian server.
Oh, my God.
Damn, dude. We're at a half hour. Happy fucking Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I hope everybody here had a good Valentine's Day. I did. And, yeah, just enjoy the love in your life, and hopefully they don't kill you. That's all we can hope. Get a bunny. They seem to be they literally are physically incapable of hurting you.
Oh, speaking of something you love killing you, the character I came up with.
Sure.
It's sober or not sober. It's like well-adjusted Charles Bukowski.
Sure.
Find what you love and drink it responsibly.
Find what you love and do that on like occasions such as a wedding or a friend's birthday. But fundamentally, you don't want to overdo what you love.
Oh,
I know what I love, and it's Yoshi!
Well, come hang out with us on the Patreon. Patreon.com/phone is in the bag. All the alcoholic dogs are living it up over there.
We're just doing it. You're the best. We're at 60. We want to get to 100. Please help us out. If we do, we will throw Yoshi and Wilbur a huge bunny party. We were going to film it. We'll put it out. So please help us get to 100.
You had 100 patrons, the bunny. Who could say no to that?
You want Wilbur to not have a party?
Look at Yoshi looking around. We know he wants to have fun.
Wants a party.
Go subscribe to the Patreon. Give the rabbits a party. I'm on Instagram. Oh, buddy. I'm on Instagram at Maddie T. Wiener. I got road dates in my bio. We got stand-up cooking. Come check it out. And if you're listening to this, subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. It is where we want to eventually have a platform to post sketches and short films and specials. And it would mean a lot to us if you were there checking out the stuff we're putting out. Subscribe.
Yes.
Oh, you like the microphone.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Bye.